was me. Okay, that's cool. That's the lead reaction. Okay, where do we leave off? We did confined space yesterday? Hello, somebody answer.
Yeah, we did that.
We did confined space, right? Okay. All right, let me go to the next page. What's going on here? All right, what did I do? Skip 2 pages? Let me go back. Let me see what happened here. All right. Oh, they're just showing the picture. Why would they show the picture there? Confined space. I don't know. That's weird. Let me go back another page. All right, construction ergonomics. This is where we're at right here. What the heck is ergonomics? Ergonomics is the way that you use your body, use your muscles, things like that. Anybody ever hear anybody gets carpal tunnel syndrome or anything like that? Right, because you're touching the keyboard or type in or other things, your body starts to deform because of that. So they call construction ergonomics. Sorry, it's a way to physically do things on a job site. Lifting, okay, carrying, whatever the case may be. They want you to do it in a right, healthy manner, okay, so you don't have issues later on. So they're calling it construction ergonomics. All right, so I'm going to flip ahead now. And right here, okay, it has impact on different workers, that type of thing. Some people more than others, okay? Sam, I'm not using you as to put you down, but you have some physical disabilities now. So if there's certain things you try to do, your disabilities can worsen because of the way you carry things. Okay, Megan, you're not that you're a woman, but you are, and you're thin. So the way you carry things, and maybe some things you can't carry. Malachi, you're a little more chunkier. I'm the chunkiest. Okay, so the way we carry things, the way we lift things, the way we move things, okay, it's all impacted by how our body moves and how our body operates, that type of thing. All right, stretching muscles can reduce injuries. Okay, any of you exercise? What do you do before you exercise? Okay, you do some stretches. Okay, you get the muscles loosened up, that type of thing before you stretch. When I get done this class today, I'm probably going to sit here and do Zumba or something. So, it's too little chilly to go take a bike ride. But you got to warm up. You got to stretch your muscles. You got to make sure your muscles are working. That's just like when you get out of bed in the morning, right? First thing you do, you stand there a minute. You got to stretch out, okay? Because your body was used to laying all day. So you have to get the muscles back to working. So this is what happens, and this is what they call ergonomics. All right. That type of thing. All right, follow guidelines. Right? Take breaks every 2 hours, okay, to get circulation. Shake hands, okay, that means like this, all right, to keep the blood flow, all right. Okay, rotate with coworkers if possible, okay. Rotate your job with other people so you're not doing the same thing repetitiously all day. All right, reduce back injuries. That's a big one. Okay, and there's more about this in materials handling when you get to do that. All right, determine the weight of the load prior to lifting. Okay, if you got like a super heavy box, well, you're not going to lift it. Okay, some of you were part of cleaning out the basement at Mercy East, and if you remember, there was an old safe back there, and a couple of you tried to lift the safe, and boom, you could not lift the safe. The reason you couldn't lift the safe, it was too heavy, even for a bunch of you. So we left it alone. Not a big worry, okay? The other thing, when you are lifting things, make sure that your feet are on the ground. If you're not properly set on the ground and you go to lift something, okay, you can lose your balance. You can be set off guard, all right? The last thing you want to do is fall, but more importantly than falling, you don't want to have a heavy object falling on you. You know, heavy object falling on you, obviously you're going to be hurt. Okay, right here. Bend your knees. Always make sure you bend your knees when you're lifting, okay? You don't lift with your back, you lift with your knees, that type of thing. All right? Moving up to the next thing here. Notice we're getting near the end of all this now, which is exciting. All right. So here's a picture of a guy lifting. All right. Look at the way he's bending. The knees are bending. Okay. He's down underneath. Okay. He did tilt his back, but his knees are still bent. Okay. And he's coming up with his knees, pushing his knees back up to get in a position. All right. So you get a good grip. Lift with your legs. Keep your back straight. Keep your head up. Keep the load close to your body because you don't want it falling and pulling you down with it, right? That type of thing. Never turn or twist until you are standing straight. Then pivot your feet and the body. Yeah, duh. Ask for assistance. If you're lifting a heavy load, don't try to do it yourself. Ask somebody to help you do it. Okay? Don't be a hero. Use mechanical devices when available. All right? If you got a hand truck, hand truck help you in some cases, maybe, right? They actually make trucks that you can crank up. Maybe you put a chain around it and you pull it up on a hoist. There's different ways of doing that. So make sure that you lift properly when lifting. All right, and that's about all they covered on that. Now, fire hazards. Okay, we did a big thing on fire hazards when we did OSHA. I think I did 2 or 3 hours with you guys because you do a 30-hour class. So before I even move forward, I want to make sure that you know the types of fires because you really should know the types of fires by now. So Megan, what is a type A fire? What is a type A fire?
Don't know.
Okay, well, if you don't know, use your Chromebook and Google it because I'm not going to tell you.
It says type A fire. It's such as wood, paper, some plastics, and textiles.
Wood, paper, plastic, and textiles, okay? Wood. All right, I'm sitting at a wooden desk. Okay, I'm scared of my cat. Okay, so that is part of a type A fire, okay? What was one of the other ones? Paper. What's the most common place that we have paper in the house? Trash can, right? Okay, so trash can, paper fire, textiles. Do we have textiles in the house? Does everybody know what textiles is? Cloth. Okay, you're wearing textiles. Rags. Okay, they are textiles. And then some plastics, as they suggest. Okay, so type A fire is a standard basic fire. Okay, wood, trash, all right, that type of thing. Okay, and what is that called? When we're talking about a fire, what would the wood or the trash or the paper be? That's called the fuel. So we want to remember that is called the fuel. And we're going to get into this in a few minutes, okay? But that is the fuel. Now, excuse me, Megan, will you have it up? What kind of fire extinguisher do you use to put out a type A fire? We lose Megan?
I'm here.
Okay. What type of fire extinguisher do you use?
A.
Type A fire extinguisher. Okay. What is a type A fire extinguisher?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's not there. It didn't tell you. Somebody find me a type A fire extinguisher.
It just says the class of fire requires the heat and affects the water or the coating affects dry chemicals.
Okay. Sam, what's a type A fire extinguisher? Huh? Come on, Sam, wake up. What's a type A fire extinguisher?
I don't know. I gotta look it up.
Look it up. Come on, I'm waiting.
Type A fire extinguisher. It's used for ordinary combustibles.
Yeah, what is it? You got one in your house?
No, I don't have none.
You don't have a Type A fire extinguisher. Where you live in the woods?
No, I really don't have one.
Yes, you do.
Well, I never seen it.
You never seen it.
I think we do.
My mom said she think we do.
Your mom thinks you do. Well, tell your mom you do. Okay?
She did Type A fire station. I never seen that in the house.
You don't see one in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we'll be at because it's around the house, so I don't know. I think I saw one in the basement, but I'm not so sure.
Tell your mom she's got one right in front of her, Sam.
What you mean?
What kind of-
Huh?
You got one right in front of you.
What you mean? On the laptop?
Nope, hang on.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Well, no, he can't.
In the refrigerator?
Why would it be first?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Okay, I'm not finding what I want. Here you go. Fire extinguishers for Class A fires. What's that word right there, Sam?
Water.
Water. You don't have water in your house, Sam?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay, people. Trash, paper, wood. Can we put that type of fire out with water?
Yes.
We can. We can put that type of fire out with water. Right? We all have a Class A fire extinguisher in our house. Either at the sink, or we have a hose outside, or we have a hose down on our utility tub. Okay, somewhere in our house we have water. So we all have the means of putting out a Class A fire without any type of a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Paper, wood, trash, rags, all simple things that burn. All right? They turn to ash. Anything that turns to ash, you can put out with water. Okay? We got it?
Yes.
Okay. So that is a Type A fire extinguisher. All right? Simple as it may seem, that is a Type A fire extinguisher. So Malachi, we didn't pick on you yet. What is a Type B fire extinguisher?
I'm gonna look it up.
Or what's a Type B fire, actually?
Is it grease?
Grease. What kind of grease?
Cooking grease.
No, it's not cooking grease.
Okay.
No, that's C. That's a C.
Yo, whoa.
Who's talking with you, Malachi?
I was on the phone.
Okay. What kind of grease?
Oil.
Okay, what kind of oil?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, look it up then.
Okay.
With us, Malachi?
Yeah.
Okay, what you come up with?
It said cooking oil and gas.
No, it doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't say cooking. It says cooking oil.
Yeah. Well, cooking
Oh,
liquid.
No, I don't think it says cooking liquids.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It says Class B for all. It said Class B fires do not include fires involving cooking oils.
What's it say, Sam?
Class B fires do not include fires involving cooking oils and grease.
There you go. Class B fires do not involve cooking oils and grease. Thank you,
It
Sam,
said,
for clearing that up.
it said Class B fires are fires in flammable liquids such as gasoline, petroleum greases, chars, oils-based paints, solvents, and alcohols.
Okay, good. So Sam is on the right track here, Malachi. Okay, gasoline, petroleums, greases, not kitchen grease. Grease that we might use to lubricate our car, to lubricate certain machinery, that type of thing. They are the types of greases that they talk about here. Oils, they do not talk about cooking oils. They're talking about oils that we might use in a shop. Has every one of us over in the shop used either CRC or WD-40? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. It is an oil. It is a lubricant. That is the type of oil that they're referring to as a type B fire. All right. Oil-based paints, solvents. Solvents would be the products that we use to clean oil-based paints. Okay. So these are Class B fires. All right. And to put them out, you do not use a water, because if you use water, you're only going to spread it. Because look, oil, okay, greases, gasoline, are they liquid? They are liquid.
Yes.
So if you try to spray those with water, you're only going to spread the fire further out. So you use a Class B type fire extinguisher, which actually happens to be a compound of powders and other chemicals, which we'll cover in a few minutes. So that is entirely different. Class A fire is a simple fire. You could have them in your house at any time. Okay? Class B fire is a little more complicated, but they could happen in a house. They could happen in your garage where you keep certain things. So now let's go back to Megan. Megan, what's a type C fire?
Type C, it is electric fires.
It is an electrical fire, sure. Okay? And electrical fires start because we have a loose connection, something went wrong, somewhere's along the line, that type of thing. Okay? The biggest cause that we have nowadays that we have to watch, okay, we ever plug in our cell phone charger, and when we go to unplug it, it's a little warm, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it heats up because it's a small little cube that they put all these little coils of windings in, okay, to reduce the voltage to charge your cell phone. And because of that, it heats up. It gets warm. So
Mr.
we need
Smith?
it. Yes, sir.
Just last night, my brother went to plug in his charger to my extension cord, and
Okay.
it sparked.
It sparked. Okay. Did it damage it?
No, it still works, but
Okay. But it sparked. Okay. Chargers got to be careful about. If I'm not mistaken, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Didn't last year one of the companies that makes iPhones or smartphones or whatever you call them, didn't they have a problem with the phone that it was exploding? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. They're nasty little suckers. Okay, but
I think it was
it is
sleeping.
what
putting
was
your
it?
iPhone under your pillow.
Okay, that happens too. If you put it under your pillow, what happens if you put it under your pillow? If you put it under your pillow, okay, you have no there's nowhere for it to go. It can't breathe.
Yeah.
So that's important. Okay, not to put it under your pillow. Okay, causes electrical fire. If you remember the one day we were here teaching, and my neighbor was knocking on the door that he had an electrical fire. All right, so it happens. All right, it happens. Loose connections is another big part of that. So we would use a Class C fire extinguisher. But what we do, okay, because those three types of fires are the most common type, okay, in most buildings or surroundings, okay, they came up with an ABC fire extinguisher, okay, and it looks something like that. All right, it looks something like this. We have these in the school, okay, and if you look on the fire extinguisher itself, what do you see here? I don't know if you can see that. Can anyone see that? Oh, my bad. How do I get out of
It's
that?
kind of small.
All right, hang on, Sam. Let's see if we can get it bigger. Yeah. All right, let me see if I can put it in another tab or something. What happens when I do that? Oh,
I
now
think,
I got.
I think you can zoom in.
Think I can zoom in, huh? Oh, look at that. Right there, Sam. What do you see right there?
Is it that trash?
That's trash. You're absolutely right. And what's right here?
Gasoline,
Gasoline. And what's right here?
electricity.
Okay, so this is what? This is A, this is B, and this is C. Thus, this is an ABC fire extinguisher. So we can use that as a fire extinguisher in all three types of normal fires. This is what we use in school. If you get into the financials and the economics of this, it's a lot cheaper to make one fire extinguisher that can do three things than it is to have three fire extinguishers hanging in a wall, an A, a B, and a C. Okay, then we'd have fire extinguishers all over the place. Okay, so it's more economical to come up with an A, B, C fire extinguisher that is used in normal practices, normal places. All right, is that understood?
Right.
So Malachi, what's a type D fire? One of the nastiest of all fires. What's a
You
type
said
D
what letter?
fire? Type D. Type D.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
It says combustible. It says metals.
Combustible metal. Okay, by the way, look. Here's the ABCs right here. Look at this. I found this nice page. All right, ABC. See, look. Okay. Right here, Class D. Combustible metals such as magnesiums, titaniums. All right. This is nasty stuff, man. This puts out a lot of smoke and stuff like that. All right. Unless you're working in some kind of a rehabilitation plant, you probably won't be involved much with that type of fire. All right. Well, let's look at the last one now. Okay, Malachi, I want you to look at this because you're the one that gave me an issue with this a few minutes ago. Okay, Class K fire. What do you think the K stands for, Megan?
Kitchen fires.
Kitchen fires, yeah. Cooking oils, greases. Okay? So if we have a Class K fire, what's the easiest way to put out a fire? Frying pan's on fire. You're cooking the bacon and the frying pan's on fire. You pick the pan up and you run it over to the sink. Is that what we do, Malachi? Come on, guys, be with me here.
Oh, my mic was muted.
All right?
I said no.
I pick up the pan and run it over to the sink. Is that correct?
No,
Why?
because it's on fire, right?
Yeah?
And you're not supposed to mix water with the grease fire.
Okay, good point. What else could possibly happen? If it's grease in a pan, it's liquid, right?
Yeah.
And if you're carrying that pan, are you going to be carrying? Can everybody see my hand?
Yes.
Are you carrying it like this, or are you carrying it like this, like you're a nervous wreck and you're shaking your body?
Yeah. You
Probably
should.
gonna, yeah, so you're shaking your body. So the next thing you know, the grease splashes out of the pan onto your arm. Where do you think the fire's going to go?
On your body.
Boom. That ain't good. Okay? That ain't good. So, no, we don't. But if we don't have a fire extinguisher handy, is there another way we can put out that Class K fire? The frying pan. What can I do, Sam?
I was gonna say like hit it with a rag, but I don't know if that's correct.
Hit it with a rag. No, you don't want to hit it with a rag. Okay?
What was the question?
Okay. It's a frying pan. What's another way of putting out the fire?
You could put like baking soda, I think. On it.
Baking soda, you can. Good job. You can use baking soda. As long as you can get to it. Okay? As long as you can get to it, you
use
get to it.
flour too.
No flour. Flour's flammable. You don't want to use flour. Okay? But let's look at this. let's look at this. Here's a triangle right here, right, people?
Yes.
Okay, what do I have here? I have oxygen, right? Because we have oxygen in the air, right?
Yes.
This is what we need to make a fire. Okay, the fuel, in this case, the fuel is grease. So that's the fuel. And then the heat's the flame. Okay, so it heats the flame, which comes when we turn the stove on. So now I got this frying pan and it's burning. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to remove one of these three components from the equation. If I can remove one of those components, okay, I'm gonna put the fire out. So the first thing I can do, I can turn the flame on the range off. Can I not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I can turn it off, but the grease is already burning, so I still have the grease. Okay, I still already have the flame, and it's burning. So I need to remove one of these elements. Now I'm in a frying pan. Okay, where was that at? Let me find that sucker. I lost it. There's the frying pan, right?
Yes.
Okay, and here's my triangle. So how about if I took the frying pan, and how about if I took a lid, put a lid over the frying pan? What's going to happen here? What am I taking away?
Oxygen.
I'm smothering it. I'm taking away the oxygen. Is that going to put the fire out? Yeah. Okay, that will put the fire out. Because I removed one of the three elements that I need, okay, to make this happen. So if I cannot get this frying pan under control and I don't have a Class K fire extinguisher, all right, you want to smother it. Somebody said baking soda. Baking soda is a good choice. If you have baking soda handy, pour it on there. Okay, if not, you don't have a Class K fire extinguisher. Okay, an ABC fire extinguisher will help you, but it might, you might use it up before you do it all. So if you take some kind of a lid, put a lid over the frying pan, smother it, take away the oxygen, okay, the fire is gone. Good job. All right? So I'm going to go back to here. So that's all we're going to do. Now, real quick, now we haven't even started the page yet. Okay, how do I put out a fire? How do I use a fire extinguisher?
You have to pull a pin first.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to use the pass method right here. Okay? We're going to use the pass method, P-A-S-S. So what's the first thing you want to do, Malachi?
Pull the pin.
You want to pull the pin. Why is that pin in there, people? That pin is in there so you don't mistakenly pull the trigger or squeeze the trigger and discharge it early. So you pull the pin. That is the P in pass. And then we have an A. What's the A for?
Aim.
Aim. Obviously, you want to aim it at the fire. Where do we aim it at the fire? Does anybody really know?
No.
No. How about you, Megan? Sam?
Wait, you got a fire extinguisher in your hand?
Yeah, I have a fire extinguisher in my hand. Okay, where am I going to aim it?
And at the fire.
Okay, we're out on the fire.
The lower part.
Okay, why? Look, right here, look at this arrow, look at the bullseye. Where's the bullseye? It's at the base of the fire, the lower part of the fire. Because you want to cover the lower part of the fire. First of all, that's where the fuel is. And
You want to cover where it's coming from.
What's that?
You wanna get where it started.
You want to get where it started, absolutely. This is the base. This is where the fuel's sitting, right? All this is this big flame shooting up. So you want to get to the base of the fire where the fuel is, and you want to start hitting it right there. So what's the third, or I'm sorry, the third. What's the first S stand for, Megan? Where's Megan?
It says it right there.
Megan left.
Squeeze.
I guess she left. Go ahead, Sam. Tell us about it.
Squeeze.
Squeeze. What am I squeezing? I'm squeezing the trigger on the fire extinguisher, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm squeezing the trigger on the fire extinguisher. All right. And then what's the last thing I'm going to do, Sam?
you're gonna sweep from side to side.
Yep, I'm going to move it like this. I'm going to sweep from side to side, okay, to get the fire out. All right, that is how I'm going to use a fire extinguisher. Now, let's say this about that, okay? Sam, you said you don't have one in your home. Malachi, you have a fire extinguisher in your home,
Yes.
okay? Megan, you got a fire extinguisher in your home? All right, Megan left.
Yes.
So you do, okay? So how long has the fire extinguisher been sitting on the wall?
Quite some time.
Wait some time. Okay, first of all, you should replace them every once in a while. I think it's 5 or 6 years. But let's do it this way. Megan, you got ketchup in your refrigerator?
Yes.
So you just made this real nice big hamburger, and you go to get the ketchup out to put the ketchup on the hamburger. Am I correct? What's the first thing you do with the ketchup?
You open the lid.
Okay, what do you do after you open the lid?
You put it on the burger.
You do?
You gotta shake
happened?
it.
Why do you have to shake it, Sam?
Because, oh my God, because the liquid, like not the ketchup, but there's like,
Because all the good stuff settled to the bottom, and you got all the liquid on the top.
yeah.
So Megan, if you put that on, don't you get some liquid, watery stuff coming out first?
Yeah.
Okay, and you really don't want that, do you?
No.
Right. So what do? What's the best thing to do? Take the ketchup bottle and do what? Shake it up. Okay. Well, it's the same thing with a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher's been sitting on your wall for a couple of years, so all the good stuff is sitting where? It's down the bottom of the fire extinguisher. And if it's down the bottom of the fire extinguisher will work, but it won't be as effective, and it's not going to work as long because all the good stuff is at the bottom. So if you take a fire extinguisher off the wall, what do you think we should do with it, Malachi?
Shake it.
Shake it. Yep, give it a couple shakes, man. All right, shake your booty and all that good stuff. Okay, that way we mix the chemicals just like we do with mustard and ketchup. Because it's perfect. You've seen it with mustard, you've seen it with ketchup, where all the good stuff's down the bottom. Same thing with a fire extinguisher. So if you're taking a fire extinguisher off the wall and haven't used it, give it a couple shakes. The other thing you do want to do, okay, there's a dial on it. Let me see if I can find the dial. Oh heavens. Okay, let me go. Oh, look at that. There's a nice dial right there. Okay, I like this one better. Okay, so look at this dial. What's it say? What's this little green section say? It says full. Okay, what's this say?
Empty.
And what's the rest of this say?
Discard or replace.
Discard or replace. So if the stuff in there starts to get bad, okay, the dial's never going to go this way unless you use it. So it's going to start going into the discard or replace area. All right, and I do believe that most manufacturers will recommend that you change a fire extinguisher every 5 years. So lifespan of fire extinguisher. And what do I have? Okay, showing results lifespan of fire extinguisher. Okay. Okay, well, when you purchase a new carbon dioxide pressurized water or wet chemical, you can expect it to at least 5 years. Okay, yeah, 5 years. For dry chemicals, okay, minimum lifespan is 12. So when you get a fire extinguisher, there's a date stamp on the bottom of it. As a matter of fact, I cleaned my patio last weekend, and I checked my fire extinguisher on my patio because I have a gas grill, not a propane grill, but a gas grill. I checked my fire extinguisher, and it was stamped on the bottom 2017. Okay, so that means that I still have a couple of years before I need to replace it. All right, it will work if it's more than 5 years. Yeah, it might not be as effective as you want it to be, but it will work. But it's a good thing to check these once in a while. Okay, like I said, take them off the wall, shake them, right, that type of thing. So you know that it is effective to what you're doing. All right. And look at that. We got all that out of that little chapter there. All right. I didn't even move the page. And we just hit the whole thing. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Boom. Just like that. All right. So, how to fire start? Well, we kind of talked about that, didn't we? What do we have to do to make a fire start? We need three things, right? What are the three things we need, Megan? Where's Megan? What do we need to start a fire? We need fuel,
Fuel
right? Heat.
and
What's in the air?
air.
All right, oxygen. Yeah, air. Okay, so you need three things. You get those three things, boom. All right. Some people burn candles all the time. Okay. Your cat or dog comes along and knocks the candle on the floor. That's not a good thing. Because what's on the floor? Usually a carpet. And what's a carpet? We talked about that earlier. Carpet is a textile. Okay? So we started type A fire. Sam's making us all lunch. Thanks, Sam. Okay? So it's a Class A fire. All right, well, so make sure you shake the mustard, Sam. Okay? So this is what would cause a fire to start when you take the three elements here and you put them together. All right. Best way to prevent a fire, okay? Well, make sure the things are separated at all times. If you have a candle, make sure that the candle is properly lit. All right. If you have a small heater in your room, make sure there's nothing around the heater. Like make sure curtains aren't hanging on the heater or something like that could heat up and start to cause a fire. So there are the type of things that we want to make sure that we stay out of the way. All right. All kinds of combustibles. You know what? We're not even going to do this right now, people, because we just did. We just did about every combustible that was possible. All right. Removing the fuel. Okay. Liquid does not burn. Okay. What burns are the gaskets. Okay. Things like that. So I kind of told you how to, how to handle that, how to take care of getting rid of that. All right. So from there, we're going to go to here. Okay. And all right. Firefighting, well, we just did that too, aren't we? You're not an expert, okay? You're not an expert at fighting fires, all right? But you know how to use a fire extinguisher. So if you know how to use a fire extinguisher, okay, you should be able to put out a fire. When I do my OSHA, I usually show a video or two about this, but I'm trying to get you through for this program, all right? So I want to make sure that we get this whole book done that we're working. All right. Taste the cake. Well, we had a lot of ovens. Okay, so we actually had people that we sent to school to be trained on fire extinguishers and fire hoses and things like that in case there was a flare up. All right, to be able to put them out. Most of the companies tell new employees where the fire extinguishers are kept. Well, they're not supposed to be kept anywhere. They're supposed to be hanging on the walls. And OSHA says that there's supposed to be a fire extinguisher every 75 linear feet. So if you think about that, if we go into one of our hallways in school, and let's take the second floor, okay? What's at one end of the second floor? We have chef's classroom, right across from the ladies' room on the second floor, am I right? And down the other end, you have what? You have the library, or what we call the commons now. So if you happen to look there on both ends of that halls, you're going to see fire extinguishers, okay? And those fire extinguishers are there because that way you have one 75 linear feet from both ends of the hall. Okay, you grab it, you use it, whatever you have to do. When you use a fire extinguisher, do not. How come my mouse just stopped? What the heck? There it is. Okay, when you're if you use a fire extinguisher and it's up, lay it down. Okay, that indicates that it is spent, it is used. Okay, and no one else will try to pick it up to use it. Okay, so lay the fire extinguisher down when you use it, and if you have to grab another one, that type of thing. All right. Okay. This is on a fire extinguisher. This tag, we have this tag on the fire extinguisher. You might remember back in January, we saw the guy walking around the building. The guy walking around the building. He inspects all the fire extinguishers to make sure that they are that they're in good working condition. He punches the year, Okay, this is an old tag, but he punches the year that he was there. So it would have been 2020 if he was there in January, and then he would have punched a month, which would be January. So now this tag is good for 1 year, and it says so right on the tag that now we know we have good inspection on a fire extinguisher for a year. These instructions here, a lot of times they are put on fire extinguishers, so they're there for you to remember how to use them. Okay, that type of thing. Foam stuff, nothing. We just talked about with the different types of fire extinguishers. Moving right along here. There's your pictures again, right? ABC, right? Trash fire, gasoline fire, electrical fire. Class D fire is metals and stuff like that, and it's not showing. I'm sorry, it's not showing the Class K fire. So guess what, people? Look what we got here. Review questions. All right, we got about 4 or 5 pages of review questions. All right, so start tomorrow. Make sure you have these pages with you when you come to my class, because we are going to go over these questions, and I expect you to write down the answer. It's the only way you're going to remember it. Okay, you write it down, and then over the weekend you can review the questions, all right, and you can make sure that you have the right answers. Now, am I going to have all the right answers off the top of my head? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at these questions for a while. If not, where do we get the answers to these questions, Malachi?
The pages.
Pages. We can go back and we can review it. We can find it real quick, all right, on how things will work. All right. So starting tomorrow, we're going to work with these review questions. Maybe I can get the PSD guys on board with us. I don't know. Maybe that would be a good thing. Okay. Any questions there?
Nope.
Nope. Megan, if you need help with your other project, you gotta let me know, because you only got about a week and a half to do this.
Okay, I will.
Okay, so we gotta get something working for you. All right, people?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will see you tomorrow. How's that sound?
Good.
And
Sounds good.
All right. See you tomorrow.
bye.
All right.